Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind. Well, folks, it's happening again. Another lawsuit to add to the piles. We can't let them win, folks. We can't let them win. We can't let the mainstream media and their puppet masters, we can't let them continue to get away with it. When you're in a cultural tug of war, when you're in any type of battle, really, if you give an inch to your opponent, they're going to take a mile. If your defensive stance shifts too hard to the left, well, then they're simply going to go right? That's the way it works. You got to play good defense. You got to block all angles. You can't let them win. And one of the most important things is to play tough and to play the game on an even playing field, to hit back. You know, they go on offense, you play defense, but then once they've either made a shot or missed a shot, it's your time to return and to attack their side of the court. Well, that's exactly what we got to keep doing. And one of the most important parts, maybe not the tip of the spear, but certainly close to the tip, are these lawsuits targeting mainstream media organizations. We had the Covington kids, we have the Kyle Rittenhouse lawsuits, which I'm actually not sure what's going on there. And now we have the Kansas City Chiefs kid. The internet calls him Blackface Kid, but I don't think that's very fair, so we'll call him the Chiefs kid, who was falsely accused of racism and blackface, yada yada yada. Well, turns out that him and his family are now suing the media organization that ran that absolutely horrific, slanderous piece. It's another lawsuit to add to the pile, folks, another element fighting back against the corrupt, lamestream leftist media. It's a beautiful day, we got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so take a look at this headline here from the Gateway Pundit. Let's go. Parents of 9-year-old Chiefs fan threaten to sue Deadspin after journalist used deceptive photo to smear child as a racist. Here we go. The parents of 9-year-old Kansas City Chiefs fan Holden Armenta, smeared by Deadspin journalist Karen Phillips, are threatening to sue the outlet and reporter. Karen Phillips smeared an innocent child who attended Sunday's Kansas City Chiefs versus Las Vegas game by posting a deceptive photo of only one side of his face. It takes a lot to disrespect two groups of people at once, but on Sunday, during the afternoon in Las Vegas, a Kansas City Chiefs fan found a way to hate black people and the Native Americans at the same time, Phillips wrote, accusing the young child of, quote, blackface. This is the photo that he used, obviously. This was, well, the reality, it was war paint, not blackface. His face was painted half black, half red. But of course, as we know, dishonest, sociopathic left-wing journalists in the modern day, well, they'll pretty much jump at anything, even slandering a young child, if it means pushing the narrative, or creating a story where there isn't a story, going viral, and of course, promoting this toxic conversation that continuously revolves around race. Sue them all into oblivion. The Covington kid won so frickin' fast because the media organizations were so clearly wrong. They had no case, and even if they did have a case, it would be hard to argue and most likely cost them an absolute fortune to litigate. And so instead, what did they do? Well, they settled. And good. Every single time these media organizations engage in this type of behavior, they should be sued into oblivion. There should be no option. You know, making a mistake in your journalism is one thing. Getting a date wrong, getting a fact wrong, not scrutinizing a source enough, a misinterpretation. You know, these are all things that you kind of expect. These are things that are acceptable to a certain extent. People can make mistakes. I've made mistakes in some of my reporting. As long as you don't have bad intentions and you're willing to correct the error, and for the most part, it's acceptable. People will understand, forgive, and accept. But that's not what this is. That's not what this was. What this was purposeful slander and misrepresentation of the facts, and what makes it even more disturbing is that the victim here was a 9-year-old boy. I mean, this goes way beyond. It's going too far. They were given an inch and they took a mile. And this is that result. This is a left-wing media that is out of control. You have these rogue fake news journalists who currently feel empowered, and that's because they've been able to get away with it for way too long. For way too long, they've been able to use the media as a weapon to attack and slander their opponents. And it shows just how far these people are willing to go to take down their opponents. It's time to hit back. There needs to be a very clear legal precedent set here that if you slander random civilians, you know, it's one thing to attack Donald Trump and to write a bunch of fake nonsense about Trump. He's a public figure. It's part of the whole thing. It's another to willfully spread misinformation, and dangerous misinformation at that, regarding an underage kid. Deadspin should be held accountable. Companies like Deadspin need to be facing this kind of consequences, because if they were, then their editing team would probably be doing their job. Something like the article that Karen J. Phillips wrote would never be greenlit to be released to the public. In fact, people like Karen J. Phillips probably would never get hired in the first place if there was even just a basic amount of basic accountability for these organizations and the actions they take. Karen J. Phillips, the man who wrote this article, in my view, shouldn't ever be allowed to even show his face in public. What he did was so incredibly atrocious, so wrong, so morally repugnant, that at this point, he should be radioactive. You know, people like Taylor Lorenz, this guy, and all the other fake news journalists constantly writing these ridiculous hit pieces, they should be radioactive, for Pete's sakes. Anybody with even 1/10 the reputation of a Taylor Lorenz or a Karen Phillips should be viewed as an automatic possible multi-$100 million liability for any company. Yeah, I don't know about that one. This Karen J. Phillips guy, a little bit toxic, could possibly write something one day that ends up biting us in the behind and causes us to have to pay $100 million in legal settlements. Yeah, I think we're gonna pass on the Karen J. Phillips hire this time. That should be the freaking narrative. Hundreds of millions of dollars. That's the only way that the message is sent through. For these media organizations to understand, the only thing that really speaks here is money. If it's profitable to be woke, they're going to be woke. If it's profitable to be anti-Trump, they're going to be anti-Trump. You know, whatever's drumming up controversy, whatever is just dumb and going viral on the internet for all the wrong reasons, that's what these media organizations are going to do, and that's what these journalistic, whatever we want to call them, outlets are going to do. And they'll lie in the pursuit of that monetary gain, but the moment there's consequences, the moment there's possible monetary loss, the moment there's a risk, well, all of a sudden, the risk calculation starts to come in. That risk should be massive. And so I say good. The Covington kids, a massive win. I'm still hoping Kyle Rittenhouse is going to sue pretty much everybody into oblivion. I hope he sues ABC's The View. Who knows, all of a sudden, Joy Behar, Whoopi Goldberg, Sunny Hostin might be gone the next day. It's really the only way to get the job done, friends. The dollar is the only way to do it. Because obviously doing the right thing, you know, a basic moral compass, is never going to work in the world of the mainstream media. No, instead they write nonsense like this. Elon Musk ignites hate storm against black reporter. Here's what really went down. That hate storm, by the way, against a black reporter was against Karen J. Phillips after slandering a 9-year-old child, supposedly calling out a lying, mischievous, malicious fake news journalist out. Apparently that's igniting a hate storm against a black reporter. You know, what these mainstream media clowns are gonna do is defend each other. They're gonna double down. They're gonna triple down. They're gonna justify their behavior, just like they justify Juicy Smollett's behavior. It's all part of an education campaign to increase awareness of struggles within particular communities, blah, blah, frickin' blah. It's none of that. It's just a bunch of sociopathic, out of control, power hungry, money hungry, fake news propagandists. And again, I'm just going to finish off the video by saying what I always say in every single one of these videos. Sue them into oblivion, please. Launch a lawsuit yesterday. Launch a lawsuit immediately. Put up a freaking Kickstarter for that lawsuit because I'm donating $100 instantly. You need help with your legal fees? No problem. As long as you're suing Deadspin, as long as you're suing the New York Times or the Washington Post or CNN or MSNBC. Even if I was poor and broke, I'd sacrifice eating a couple days to send you a couple bucks because it just has to be done. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys. Not much else other than me, I guess, just kind of putting it out there into the universe. Please keep suing these outlets. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.